Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. Today we'll be doing some LS work. We'll be doing some crankshaft work, rebuilding the big end of the connecting rod, touching it up. Yesterday I cut the caps, so we're going to size the big end of them. In this video I'll be doing some wrist pin polishing, and I hope you enjoy the video. Well, this is an aftermarket crank. We're putting tape on the journals, and then I'm putting some aluminum flashing. You can buy it at a hardware store. You can cut it with scissors. Put a couple band clamps around it. This is to protect the journal. We're going to be doing a little work on it, and I'll show you what we got going on. Of course, I got some tape under here. This is just a protective shielding, if you will, to make sure that when I do the work on the crank, I don't nick it or hit it or have you know, the torch kick back and blow hot metal on the journal, anything like that. Mostly for grinding. The reluctor ring, he wanted me to check it with my installation tool, and it's off half a tooth, and I told him I don't know if you can tune that out. I don't know that much about the computer controlled stuff. I don't really have a desire to know. I just know that this puts it in the right place, and I've done many of them and I haven't had nobody come back, but this is off a half tooth, and we're going to go about removing this ring and installing probably this ring here back on there, and then just putting a couple nice TIG tacks on here. This is a little overkill. You know, usually when you put them on, I put them on with heat and they cool. They really don't move, but you know, for safety's sake, it's nice to put a few tacks on it. You know, some pretty decent ones. Like I said, this is a shade bit overkill. It's really welded on there, so it's gonna be a job getting it off, but nothing you know, no big deal, just another job. So we'll get going on it. Okay, we got quite a bit of weld here to grind, and I decided that I'd take a break and get my a new face shield, and it'd be cheaper than getting my eyes scraped at the doctor's office. So we got a lot of grinding to do, and I don't particularly want to sit in a chair and get my eyes scraped. So we'll see how this goes. guy that welded this on must have welded battleships for a living. You don't really need to get that much weld on it. It just ain't gonna go anywhere. When I put these on, I always break the edge. You probably don't need to do that, but I do it anyways. Just to be on the safe side, I want it to seat all the way down. Okay, before I fire up the torch, it's about ready to put this ring on. I've got it marked. Usually I mark them for up, so I know. I've got it marked, locating where it should be roughly close. And then once it slips on, I'll slip this in and that'll locate it and index everything. So here we go. I'm going to heat this up till it just starts to turn. And you know, you guys might not do it that way, but I really don't care because this is the way I do it. Try to heat it up as evenly as possible. You want to heat the whole thing up. You don't want to heat just the inside. You don't want it buckling and warping. It's starting to turn color right now. It just started to turn a little bit blue. Shouldn't say purple. And it's steel stamped ones, usually they turn purple pretty quick. That's a one-piece one. I don't have to heat them up as much. We'll let it cool down just a little bit. Leave it sit there. Make sure she's sitting nice and flat. Looks to be that way. And just let her cool down by herself. She's all located in. I'll let her just kind of cool down. That's more than enough for a weld. We're going to tack the two corners where they had it welded before. We're pretty much welding where they were welding before. Not that it matters much, but that's what we're doing. I'm going to tack it in that corner there and tack it in that corner there, and we're going to call it good. So we cleaned it up a little bit with a wire wheel. We put a little tack on it there, and then it's welded up underneath here. I think you've seen that. And well, that's good. It's going to be about it for this on the crank. Probably wash the rods and hang the pistons on the rods and start measuring for size. Okay, we're going to be polishing some LS wrist pins in this video, and this is just a old ARP 7/16 stud, head stud, and some big block Chevrolet rocker balls. And we'll polish the pins up. The pins have been checked to make sure that they go through the pistons. After you take the spiral lock, sometimes you get a burr on them. They've been touched up. So the pistons are all set to go. We're rebuilding this, freshening up this LS. We've mag checked it. Let me back up, not mag checked it. We've did a penetrant check. You can see the dye down in here where I didn't clean it all off. It's really messy stuff, but it usually is good for finding cracks. You can see some of it down there. But we checked the main webbing, and I rolled some of the edges back where they didn't look too good, and they would penetrant check better. Put a straight edge through it, checked everything. So the block looks like it's a good usable block. Of course, I fly cut the pistons last week and buffed the tops. No particular reason to buff the tops. It's just I prefer to do it that way. It breaks all the edges nicely with the buffing compound I use. be resizing some LS rods today. Just touching them up a little bit. Okay, we got these rods pretty much to where I want them. That one's good. That one's good. About a 1/10 under 0, which is fine. That one's a 1/10 under 0. It's fine. It's fine. Got them all. Do these again. Yep. We're all good. Okay, we've done the crank work, and we've let these set. In this video, you'll see me measuring them. This is towards the end of the day. I'm going to measure them one more time. And the reason why I do that is because I didn't take very much out of the rods. They didn't need to be really a lot taken out. The size was fairly close. I just wanted them a little bit better than they were when I received them. We've accomplished that. I like to let them set. When you are not taking a lot out, I usually use an aggressive stone with the rod machine. I use a very fine one to finish up. So if I'm going 1/1000ths or no more than 2, I'll use a CH12, I believe it is. And it is CH12. That's usually as fine as I go. They'll put heat in the rod, and they'll make the rod grow a little bit. So I like to let them cool down, and they'll change a couple tenths. So we'll go through them one more time, and we'll just check them really quick. And that one's 0. They're nice and round. They really came out quite nice. That one's 0. This one's 0. Goes down to a 1/10. Maybe half a 1/10 right there. Goes back to 0. Glare on the lens. I'm trying to get you closer to the gauge than I am. It's really tight in this area of the shop. I don't have a lot of room back here. That one's 0. Nice. These rods will be closer than the size of the bearings, which really bothers me a lot. But bearings can vary up and down depending on who's the maker of them. And lately, bearings have been horrible. So that's good. So I'm more than happy with the rods. We'll make sure that there's no magnetic charge in the rods. We'll wash them, hang them. So this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching my channel. If you get anything out of this video, please hit the like button. And if you're just looking and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I appreciate if you did that. So, thank you for watching.